And I'm Steve Wagstaff. Welcome to Motivation 101.
Motivation 101, your weekly reminder that greatness is built one choice, one action, and one moment of courage at a time. Another week, another great episode.
Sure.
Definitely great episode, amazing episode. Mr. Steve, discipline creates destiny.
Discipline. Good word. Good word.
Yes. Yes, indeed. People, this is our fourth, third episode, third
Mhm.
episode, people. And please tune in for more and more and more
Who
episodes.
doesn't need more motivation in life?
Yes,
All of us.
everybody, every does.
Absolutely.
Mm. So, Mr. Steve, discipline creates destiny. What is all
Um,
about? What do you think?
Discipline. I mean, that's a discipline in our society is not a good word, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
who wants discipline? Um, but I think we got to think of it again. Like I said last week, I was talking about changing our minds. The word discipline, as we knew it as kids, meant getting in trouble or whatever, getting disciplined for something. But discipline has a far more reach of a meaning than that. It means being able to master yourself, being able to take control of something you want to accomplish. People get into the discipline of golf or the discipline of dance or whatever. It is. It's taking time to get serious about something and making it the high priority.
A high priority indeed, but Mr. Steve, before we go on, we need to give us a big applause. You know
Good.
why? Because this is our third
Yes,
episode.
sir. Let's go.
Yes, thank you for being my co-host.
Love it.
And people, for sure, Mr. Steve and I, we will do our best to motivate you in everything you do.
Yes.
Ah, yes. So discipline presents a clear formula, don't you think, Mr. Steve? How do you define the specific type of discipline that leads to a meaningful destiny as opposed to a rigid regimentation that can lead to
Mhm.
burnout or hollow outcome?
Discipline sees, you say it right, discipline sees destiny, right? So you're okay to not be stuck in the moment because you have a clear desire and you have the we always say this, is having the end in mind. So discipline is having the end in mind, the end goal, the end solution, the end desire that you have. And so during the time that it takes you from starting to getting there, uh, discipline is just being happy and looking forward to what you're going to accomplish because of taking the necessary steps to block out time, commit effort. Um, and we sadly, it's really missing in today's society. We have fast paced everything, yet, um, yet discipline is so hard because everything is so quick. Like we flip our phones so quick, we scroll through, and soon we've been there half an hour scrolling through things. It's just discipline is. We live in a noisy society, so discipline is not easy.
It's not easy, people, but the powerful of mantra discipline creates destiny.
Mm,
Fundamentally reframes our understanding of faith. It argues that destiny is not a distant constellation we are
yeah,
born under, but architecture we build is daily brick by brick through conscious choice. It's a shift that locus of a control from external forces of internal resolves, proclaiming that our future is not something that happens to us, but something we construct for us. Don't you think,
mm.
Mr. Steve?
I agree. I think God has designed us in a way with certain giftedness. Uh, we have gifts. We have the ability to follow our destiny, what our plan is, and that's, I think, where we find the most joy. I think anything outside of what we're truly designed to be, it'll be like a chasing after the wind. But using your giftedness and using what you've been called to, discipline is not as difficult when you view it that way. Um, Discipline actually can be joyful. Yeah.
Joyful indeed. So the phrase reframed destiny from something we find, something we build. How does this perspective fundamentally change one's person daily mindset and sense of responsibility for their life's trajectory, Mr. Steve?
Well, I mean, you think it across a whole gamut of situations, for our own lives. Um, Sometimes our discipline and or lack of can affect other people, whether it's on the job or even whether it's a hobby. A lack of discipline with time affects others. A lack of discipline with effort affects others because it leaves others to pick up the slack. And so I think I think that along with discipline, I think authenticity and discipline are probably the two greatest things that we need to harness and have control of. Think about the person on the battlefield that's relying on the discipline of their other soldier. Um, it's it's just like that in life. If we don't build discipline into our everyday structure, I think we not only let ourselves down, I think we let others. I think we definitely let others down.
People, the philosophy or this philosophy dismantles the myth of the overnight success,
Mm,
revealing it instead as the final, visible culmination of countless invisible acts of consistency. It is
mm,
the ultimate declaration of agency, asserting that blueprint for remarkable life is drawn not in stars but in schedules,
mm,
habits, and quiet perseverance of showing up when no one is watching.
mm. I
That's a
love
great
that.
one. Yes.
Showing up when no one's watching, and I think it's so important, especially to those who have kids, right?
Yes.
If we don't model discipline, um, it shows up in the next generation, and, we think discipline when it comes to kids is always getting in trouble, at least I did as a kid, is always getting in trouble, but I'm so grateful now for the discipline my parents built into me and taught me, um, because it's made me the man I am today, and so, um and I like your point too, is that, um, we want something quick now, like, in our society, we want the instant fix, we want the instant result, we want all those things, but it's not the reality. Some people might get lucky and whatever, win certain amount of money, and so they don't have to work as hard or whatever, but or you might get a video that blows off really great, and all of a sudden you've reached, to a new height of where you want to be online, but the reality is those wishes and those things are those are few and far between unless you work hard for them, and so I think building discipline in our lives um, is the greatest discipline with God's word, building it into your life, discipline with taking time for your spouse, discipline with making sure you're attentive and giving time to your kids. It shows up everywhere.
Yes. Everywhere, people. And it's at its heart, this is philosophy of identity transformation. True destiny shaping discipline is not merely about grimly checking tasks off the list. It is the
Mm,
process of becoming, through repeated action, the kind of person for whom excellence is natural. It breeds between aspiration and identity. Just like I want to be a writer, I want to be a
mm,
podcast host. Just like Mr. Steve and I,
mm,
I am a writer, or I am a podcast host, or one who writes every day, or who do podcasting every day, just like me and Mr. Steve.
Mm. You gotta show
Does
up, right? That's what discipline
yes.
is. Showing up for yourself, not for others. You gotta show up for yourself. Um,
Yes. This daily reinforcement forges a self image strong enough to withstand doubt, rejection, and fatigue. The discipline of reading transform you into a scholar. Oh, am I a scholar?
yeah,
Are you a scholar, Mr. Steve?
I wouldn't call myself a scholar,
Cool.
but yeah, you, Daniel, on the other hand, yeah, fellow Canadian scholar. Yeah, look
So,
at you, how
yes.
much you've written, motivational 101, all the 101s, you're a 101 scholar.
Yes, and the discipline of saving transform you into an investor. Oh,
Mm,
after the scholar, you become an investor for sure. The discipline of listening transform in you into a leader. You are
mm,
not waiting for a destiny to bestow a title upon you. You are earning it in advance through the person you choose to become each morning. That's why I chosen Mr. Steve to be my host on Motivation 101 because I knew
mm.
he is the one. Right, Mr. Steve?
I appreciate it. Yeah, I really do. It's been good. It's motivated me to make sure, like, even though we're about 5 hours apart in time zones, it's
Mm.
motivated me to make sure that, we show up for one another because you depend on me and I depend on you, and that's what
Yes.
makes success. Um, Again, I think we need to it doesn't discipline doesn't we need to take it from the column of being a bad word or something bad that you're being disciplined for. We gotta move it. There's a time and a place for that, but we've gotta move it over into the list of attributes and gifts that are good for us. They're good for the soul. They're good for defining who we are, discipline. And you can spot people, and I think we all could come up with a name, not that we should, but when you think of a lack of discipline, I'm sure we can all come up with a scenario or an individual. And at the really heart of the problem is they have a lack of learned discipline in their lives.
Yes, people, the profound counterpoint that this specific breed of discipline is not a jailer, but
Mm,
a liberator. It
mm,
creates a boundaries within which is true creativity, freedom, and peace can flourish by systematically eliminating chaos in the fundamentals like finances, health, time. It frees up immense cognitive and emotional bandwidth for innovation, relationships, and joy. The discipline of a budget creates the freedom to pursue a passion, just like what we're doing.
mm.
With Mr. C, we want to motivate people all over the world.
I love it. Discipline is when you find what you love to do.
Yes.
It's not hard to discipline yourself, right? When you find that thing that God's created you to be or, those skills He's given you, um, yeah, there's gonna be days where it's like, "I don't want to do that, I'd rather do this," but when you find that lane that you're meant to run in, um, you'll find that discipline is something you don't even think about. You just end up doing it. Um, and that's the kind of discipline that I like. Is showing up because I love doing what I do across a whole gamut of things in life.
Yes. Discipline something is we need in everything
Yeah,
we do because without
yeah,
discipline, it's a chaotic world.
yeah, that's true. If we didn't have yeah, if people were allowed to just roam and exercise wherever whatever their heart wants to do without building in disciplines and habits, we wouldn't have companies, we wouldn't have law, we wouldn't have families. Discipline shows up everywhere, even when we don't think about it. Our lives, as we know, are discipline. I mean, you think about it on the wall or on, like discipline is counted in minutes, even though We don't think about it. It's the little clock on the wall that goes around every day. But in that 24-hour period, we've disciplined ourselves multiple times, but never thought about it.
Yes. People, this is Motivation 101, and we are talking about discipline creates
Mm.
destiny with my co host, Mr. Steve. So tell us, Mr. Steve, you argue that discipline is not just about actions, but about becoming a disciplined person. How
Mhm.
does someone make that internal shift from I have to do this to I am someone who does this?
I think I think taking inventory of what your life looks like, um, and what desires you have and goals you set, um, and they can show up either in a 24-hour period or you can extrapolate it down the corridor of time. But I think um, I think discipline is I think it's learned, but I also think that it's somewhat ingrained into us. I think we know within ourselves the things we ought to do and the things we, ought not to do. So I think discipline is something that we're born with, but if we don't exercise it, like any other thing, if we don't exercise discipline, it becomes a weak area of our lives. It's like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it becomes weak. And so um, I think it's something the more you exercise discipline, the more it shows up in every other area of your life. So um, good life lesson to learn for sure.
Yes, life lesson for sure. The discipline of workout routines creates the energy to engage fully with life. It is a
Ugh.
paradoxical truth that structure sets you free, and within the container of deliberate practice lies the expansive space. Or, yes, expansive as well as expansive space for extraordinary destiny to unfold.
Mm. I'm trying to think of an area. I won't ask you where you lack discipline, but for me, as a quadriplegic, I if I don't discipline myself in the area of making sure my lower limbs are stretched every day, or I take time to do a 15-minute, 20-minute physio workout, um, it may not. Well, it does affect others because my health then makes me harder to care for in some ways, but uh, I dis I disappoint myself, in the long run. So I I I think discipline I think we I think we really hinder ourselves when we don't show up for ourselves, with discipline. It, I think coming into 2026, everyone makes the New Year's resolution, and I don't know how
Yes.
very long I don't think we I mean, I think resolutions are good, but I think what would be better is rather than building in a resolution that's unkeepable, if that's even a word, coming in 2026, is look at areas of your life where you would like improvement, and then discipline yourself to make small adjustments because, like I said earlier, when we start exercising it in little amounts, discipline, whether it's eating, whether it's how much time you're spending on a video game, whether it's work ethic, I would say it's better to make small little changes with discipline. And I think come 2027, when you make your resolution, you'll look back and say, uh, the small little areas of discipline I exercised paid off in dividends over the course of this next coming year.
Yes, I like that. Dividends.
Mm,
People, dividends, just like discipline.
mm.
And Mr. Steve, tell us if or what is the personal discipline you maintain that has most directly shaped the destiny of writing or doing your podcast to
Mhm.
your work?
Um, I'll give you 2 examples of where discipline has showed up in my life and where it hasn't showed up in my life. Uh, Discipline in terms of what we're doing at Swagability, building a nonprofit, was a lot more than what people first told me to expect, and so I've had to learn how to manage time, and so discipline with regards to my time and prioritizing things that need to get done as opposed to things that can wait. I have preferences, but sometimes I have to discipline myself to have to slide those down the scale in order for swagability to be successful. And when I don't show up in those areas with time, um, that affects my wife's schedule. It affects her wants and her desires. So, um, discipline is 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 great, and discipline's a great gift you can give someone else in your life. So we're not always rolling through the door late to an event because I've spent more time focused on swagability than I have disciplining myself to watch the clock, and when I do that, it's a gift to my wife. So those are areas in my life where I see discipline show up. Number one is for making sure that I'm doing what's required as a founder to push something forward, but also making sure that I'm building discipline into my life that affects my partner in a positive way.
In a positive way, and ultimately, this concept is about legacy, the echo of
Mm,
our daily choices in the arc of our lives and beyond. Destiny is not a singular event, but a compound interest of small, intelligent actions
mm,
repeated consistently over time. It is understanding that the book is written page by page, the fortune built dollar by dollar,
mm,
the masterpiece painted stroke by stroke. The weight of this truth is also the great comfort. We are not victims of circumstance, but active authors. Our destiny is not found in a lucky break, but
mm.
forged in relentless, purposeful hammer strike of our own discipline. It is a
That's a
call to
great
embrace the beautiful, difficult work of creation, starting not tomorrow, but in very next moment we choose commitment over complacency.
Hmm. There's some really good truth in those statements. Yeah, hammered out. Um, yeah, that's a really great line. People gotta run that back probably 30 seconds to listen to that a few times, but you're right. That's some powerful saying.
Yes, and Mr. Steve, let's give a big hand for both of us because
We've
motivation
motivated.
one. Yes, we are truly motivated to do this podcast. Motivation 101 will be available wherever you listen your podcast starting tomorrow. So please
Mm.
just tune in. Motivation 101 with Mr. Steven
You were gonna go
Swagstaff.
with Steve
Steve,
Wagstaff.
yes.
That's right,
Mr.
swag.
Steve, yes. Let's do Mr. Steve. So, with no further ado, Mr. Steve, could you please recap of our discussion for today?
Discipline will define your destiny. Discipline is not a bad word. Discipline needs to be taught to a younger generation in in doing it yourself so you show it, and discipline you will thank yourself for come 2027 if you implement it starting today. Motivation for you to think about.
Motivation, people. Start now, not tomorrow, not next year. It's already 2026 after what? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Ah, we are
Man,
motivating you.
I'm
We are.
motivated for that.
Mhm, Yes, we are motivating you to do the best of the best of the best. Share your talents to the world. Share your artistic design or whatever what you're doing. And let's make that your legacy to the world. So, Mr. Steve,
Till next
thank you.
time.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Bodycam people, see you soon.
Bye bye.